Hi, hello my dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video session we are going to discuss about electric charges and fields, one of the most important topic. If a charges are placed at different corner of equilateral triangle or a square, and how would you find a resultant force, and how can you find an effective charge should be placed at centroid of the square or equilateral triangle and the system will be equilibrium. So these kind of questions always they asking in a competitive examination. So that's why I'm coming here to discuss about completely problems, means applications, how we would do about different charges are placed at a different sides of or corner of the shapes. Let's get into the video, and this is Shiva. You're watching Shiva Physics, and please give your support to subscribe my YouTube channel and like చేయండి కంపల్సరీ, షేర్ చేయండి మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్కి. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ డౌట్ లెట్ మీ నో ఇన్ ద కామెంట్ సెషన్. సో electric charges and fields, and you can say this is also electrostatic electric charges and fields. So from this lesson we have one of the most important confused topic is if a charges are placed at a different corner of a equilateral triangle or some other else square, something else. So these kind of questions, how would you solve a resultant force affecting on particular charge? So very different concept here. In you can compare with a gravitation lesson also, I will tell you. So if you taking a equilateral triangle, so this equilateral triangle have three corners, we know that, and sides of equilateral triangle, assume it A, and we have to be calculate if you take is all q charges, same charges on a corner of equilateral triangle, and find the resultant force on a particular charge. And you can say that in the problems they will ask that, and -1 coulomb, -2 coulomb, -3 coulomb, or minus plus different charges they make you. And same concept for gravitation also. So you can see, you can remind this concept for gravitation lesson. So m mass and m mass and m mass. So if in place this kind of masses at corner of equilateral triangle, how much resultant attraction force between two charges or particular charges, we can done that, we have done our previous classes. And same concept is involved in the charges also. It may possible, and it 100% possible. And if charges are placed like this, all unique charges it is. Sir, if it is plus and if it is minus, what will happen? You know, here the mass there is no charge, it has only magnitude, there is no proper charge direction. So that is why we are using it is minus plus plus. And if you take this kind of different signs, and while you are doing that kind of signs, we definitely under direction of force will be changes. So don't be confused, I will tell you step by step, and why, how it will be happening, and why would be how like this become, I will tell you. So see, if three charges are placed like equilateral triangle, I gonna take all charges are placed first of all. Okay, now next question what he asked, what is resultant force on a particular charge? If may ask, place all are same charges, no, nothing worry. And if he asks different charges, 1 coulomb, 2 coulomb, 3 coulomb, okay, 1 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb, 3 microcoulomb. So these kind of charges they may give, you have to be follow as procedure what I doing here. Okay, now see, so if I am calculating resultant force here, and due to these two charges one effective force is acting, that is repulsive force. All like charges will repulse, right? So this will comes like, let us give the position of this one A, B and C, and due to B charge one a repulsive force is created, FB will away from the charges, right? And next to due to C charge also one more force is created, that is FC. Okay, if it is minus, what will happen? If it is minus, what will happen? If it is minus charge, and the direction of charge will be plus to minus will travels. Hope you understand. I don't do that application, but just imagine yourself, and if it is minus, the direction will goes like this. Okay, now what you have to do here, and first of all I am taking place, and we need to calculate what is resultant force between FC and FB. Means on this particular charge, how much resultant force acting on them. So see, this is Fr, and tell me what is equilateral triangle angle is, it is 60 degrees, means the between these two forces also be, it is also be 60 degrees. In this entire complete explanation, if you take a minus, there is only angle will change. Understand? So same concept I am going to take here. For this is minus, I am taking that. Even minus 2 coulomb, minus 3 coulomb, you can take anyway. So if it is minus, the force direction, okay, so between plus 2 minus, the force direction will comes like Fc. So here Fc will away from the charge, no? It is towards the minus q charge. Okay, now here the concept is what angle it making between Fb and Fc. That is the matter only. Okay, now if it is 60 and remaining, this becomes 120 degrees. Okay, so if it is 60, it is become 120 degrees, and we have to be calculate all the procedure what you are doing. So just to keep remember one thing, when the charges are different, like unlike charges, and you have to be follow what is the force of direction will travels from there. Okay, so simple formula we have that if three charges are placing at equilateral triangle, we are doing that. So what is resultant force acting on it? So we know that according to Coulomb's law, what is formula? F is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q1 q2 by r square. This is general formula. We have to be apply for individual charges, that is we'll do it, that will do now. So that is, see, don't confuse, learn carefully and slowly, no worries. So between Fb and Fa, what is resultant force acting? Plus q and plus q only, na? Nothing but Fb is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q into q. This is also q, this is also q. We can write it, this is q square by r. Here the distance between here we are assuming a, no, so becomes a square. Equation 1. And similarly, Fc is equals to, see, Fc is equal to, I am going to take this is plus charge only. So between this repulsive force, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square again, because both are same charges, no. So this is equation 2. And what you have to do now, so all charges are different position they have, and the resultant force are we have to be calculated. So I am going to calculate resultant force. Fr is equals to, so before going to solve Fr resultant force, the magnitudes of these two forces are same. See, the direction will be changes, but it's okay. But here it is, the magnitude of these two forces are equal, nothing but from equation 1 and 2, mod of Fb is equals to mod of Fc. We can write it, means 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by a square, q square by a square, all are same, means the magnitude is same, the direction is different. So now the resultant force, we have to be calculate resultant magnitude for the resultant magnitude. Why I am doing this is procedure? Because while you doing the procedure, you can understand the concept. The concept will be understand, and you can apply more applications for based on this process. Okay. Now resultant magnitude, that Fr is equals to under root of F something whatever you are doing here, it is between Fb and Fc you are doing now. So Fb square plus Fc square plus 2Fb into Fc cos theta. Understand? So this is according to parallelogram law formula. We have read that in first year. So Fr is equals to Fb square plus Fc square plus 2 Fc into cos theta. So what angle it is carries? Theta is equals to 60 degrees, and Fc and Fb, the mod of Fb is equals to mod of Fc, means I am going to take any one is equal to same value. That is, Fr is equals to, I can take here it is, that becomes, I can substitute directly Fb square plus Fb square plus only I can take, I am taking only Fb value into, because both are equal now, Fb into cos 60. What is cos 60 value? Cos 60 is equals to 1 by 2. See, so cos 60 substitute as usually, and what we will get? A square plus a square means 2AFB square plus, here cos 60 means 1 by 2 na, So as it is right is 2FB into FB square cos 60 means 1 by 2. 2 to get cancelled, and remaining resultant force is Fr is equals to under root of, see, 2FB square plus FB square means root 3 FB square, and that nothing but Fr is equals to root 3 times of FB. Okay, this is the resultant force, nothing but Fr is equals to root 3 times of what FB value we carry here is, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by A square. This much of effective force is acting between the charges of while all charges are unique charges. And you can understand the concept here. It is, if it is all charges are same places they placed, and you have to understand all charges are placed same charges as well as equilateral triangle, and you have to follow this procedure. Understand? So note this one, all the points. This is Fr we are done, if resultant force, and if may give the charge 1 coulomb, 2 microcoulomb, sorry 1 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb, 3 microcoulomb, if they give, and then the resultant magnitude force is not equal. Do your application in a homework. I am going to do this is a homework for you, and this is homework. For suppose I am going to take 1 microcoulomb and 2 microcoulomb, and this is 3 microcoulomb, and he asked at particular charge if these all magnitudes are same, no, so then if we can find anyway the resultant force is same. And if this kind of problem they give, we have to, he will ask, the question is at particular point, at particular charge, he asked find resultant force, find Fr resultant force at 1 microcoulomb. He will ask like that. So 1 microcoulomb means at this point you have to be calculate Fr value. Other than if you do this at particular 3 microcoulomb, you cannot solve it. It is not a resultant force on 3 microcoulomb. He is asking that at 1 microcoulomb what you have to do. Solve it and mention what is the answer in the comment section. And next one, and this kind of situation we have solved now. So next student, so we have a square also different concept. So square place చేసినప్పుడు ఎలా calculate చేస్తాం? So for square, same resultant force for square also. This is also question, and most of the time they may ask that if it is square and we have to be calculate what is the resultant force. No, this is let assume this is one kind of square, okay, and this is one square. Okay, so if we place different charges and different corner of square, and we have to be calculate what is the resultant force acting on this. So this is HC Verma question also, and you can calculate in various situations for a kind of square, and I will tell you. And if I take all charges, equate same charges on a square corner of square, and we have to be calculate what is the resultant force on this. So next question also we have, and how much charge should I place at centroid? How much charge should I place at centroid? Then the resultant force becomes 0. So means all the system will be equilibrium when a charge is placed at centroid, and what charge should I place at centroid? Then the square or entire system in equilibrium. That is will upload in next video. Okay, so first of all, what is resultant force acting on and different various situation. Again I am taking here all are plus charges only, plus q and plus q, everywhere it is become plus q, means all between all positive charges there is a repulsive force will be developed. So this repulsive force is developed. I am going to take the position of this one A, B, C, and this is a D. Now calculate here what is resultant force on particular D point, you can say, and you can find C or A, B or A, wherever you can find all resultant force is equal to same, because all charges are same previous concept. And if it can take here it is a minus charge, if it is take it is a minus charge, the entire system resultant force direction will changes. Okay, this is different concept, and the angle only changes, I will tell you. So before going to that, we have to calculate what is the resultant force on particular D point. I going to take here, due to plus q charge on A point, on a D particular point, that force of attraction or repulsion is Fa. This is 100% repulsive force. It is away from the charge. And similarly here also, and due to C charge, one more repulsive force is created, that is Fc. Okay, and one more thing here it created, that due to this charge also, at B point of charge also, it is created a repulsive force, because both are plus plus, and that charge also we have to be calculated how much charge is created between this charge. Nothing is changing here, only the distance will change. Here the side of square is, we are assuming A, but here the thing is, if it is compared between these two charges, only the diagonal of square you can consider, you can solve it everything. I will tell you square, we are doing that. So for a result according to Coulomb's from 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q1 Q2 by R square. I gonna substitute for individual values. For Fa, the resultant force between A and D. Nothing but I gonna do here Fa, I am assuming this one, Fa is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into what charges they carries, Q into Q only, na, Q square by the side of square is distance A, we are assuming A square. So now similarly for between C and D, between C and D, the force of attraction or repulsion, it is repulsion force only, that is Q and Q only, remaining right it had is only 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by what side of this one, A square. And we have to be calculate what is the magnitude of these two forces are same, assuming again A and B, between these mod of Fa is equals to mod of Fc. Magnitudes are same compared to this. And coming to this is, what is the resultant force between B and D? What is the resultant force between B and D? Before going to solve, what is the resultant force ante వీటికంటే రెండిటి మధ్యలో resultant force calculate చేయాలి కాబట్టి ఈ రెండు మధ్యలో the resultant force between FA and FC, because particular angle లో ఉన్నాయి కదా. సో ఏ యాంగిల్లో ఉన్నాయంటే ఏం చెప్తాం, ఇట్ బికమ్స్ 90 degrees యాంగిల్, దట్ ఈస్ లెట్ అజ్యూమ్ ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యలో ఫోర్స్ నేను FR అనుకుంటున్నా. సో మనకి ఇక్కడ ఇంకొక ఫోర్స్ కూడా వస్తుంది, దాన్ని కూడా కన్సిడర్ చేయాలి చెప్తాను. సో ఇప్పుడు FR is equals to అన్న రూట్ ఆఫ్ 90 degrees కాబట్టి కాస్ ఫంక్షన్ బికమ్ 0 అవుతుంది. సో FA స్క్వేర్ ప్లస్ FC స్క్వేర్ plus 2 FA into FC into cos 90. Cos 90 value 0 kada. So that is equals to under root of, only magnitude same anukuntunam kabatti directly rasestunna FA square plus FC square, and nothing but it becomes 0 only. So FC square I can write it here, it is FA square, and that is root 2 times of FA. So directly I can say FR between FC and FA is equals to root 2 times of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by A square. So this is, we got it, and this is not a resultant force, but we are one more acting force between D and B that we have to be calculated. The force between FD mean D point and B point. Okay, now calculate that F is equals to, let assume FB is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into what the charges they carry is Q square by, here the distance only changes, that is only mandatory, that AA becomes, it is a right angle triangle, no, and you can write it 2A, the side of hypotenuse becomes, if it is AA, the side of hypotenuse becomes root 2A. You can calculate according to Pythagoras theorem, and we will get it root 2 into A whole square. Okay, now solve it this by equation oriented, and we will get the answer 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q square by 2 into A square means it becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q square by A square. So this much of FB force we got, and note this all the points, and I will tell you resultant force how much acting on this. పాజ్ చేసుకొని రాసుకోవాలి, అందరూ రాసుకుంటే మీకు అప్లికేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు చాలా ఈజీ అవుతుంది. అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ టోటల్ రిజల్టెంట్ ఫోర్స్ total resultant force for entire square of square means that means Fr dash is equals to Fr plus Fb means due to Fb force also one force we created, that is, and as well as between Fc and Fb, that is Fr. ప్రాపర్ డైరెక్షన్లో ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి మనం డైరెక్ట్గా చెప్తున్నాం. సార్ ఎందుకు దీనికి యాంగిల్ తీసుకోవట్లే అంటే దిస్ ఈజ్ అ డిఫరెంట్ కాన్సెప్ట్. Here the force is creating by individually plus q and minus q. It is not connected with the Fa and Fc. That is why you have to take as usually individual value. Okay, substitute all the magnitude values what we got, and Fr we got it is root 2 times of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q square by a square plus Fb is nothing but 1 by 2 times of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q square by a square. So common తీసేసుకోండి, root 2 plus 1 by 2 times of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into q square by a square. Simple. So this much of Fr value we got Fr dash by doing of this square value. ఓకే, సో ఎప్పుడైనా సరే ఈ వాల్యూస్ ఇలా ఉంటాయి, ఎప్పుడు ఇది యూనిక్ ఫార్ములా కాదు. దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ ఏ ఫార్ములా, దిస్ ఇస్ అప్లికేషన్ ఓన్లీ. ఫార్ములా అయితే ఎప్పటికీ కాదు. ఎందుకు చెప్పండి? ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ టేకెన్ ఎస్ 1 2 3 4 కూలమ్స్ ఇచ్చాడు అనుకోండి, హోంవర్క్ చేయండి అగైన్ ఇలాగే. సో ఇఫ్ ఐ టేక్ ద స్క్వేర్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ వన్ అగైన్ 1 కూలమ్ 2 కూలమ్ 3 కూలమ్ and here it is 4 coulombs. Let us have micro coulombs. Here it is micro coulomb. All are micro because coulomb is a bigger unit. And previous concept lo chuda square lo equilateral triangle lo sides ivale, akkada kuda side తీసుకోండి 1 cm, ikkada 1 cm, and here also 1 cm 1 cm. And previous problem lo kuda meer em తీసుకున్నారంటే square కి కూడా equilateral triangle kuda side 1 cm తీసుకోండి, solve చేయండి. How much resultant force acting on 1 micro coulomb? This particular point దగ్గర charging for value ఈ ఫార్ములాలో సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే రాదు, because these values of magnitudes of charges are different. Magnitude of charges are different. That is why it is not possible. When it is possible, only all charges are placed same. So that is why what I procedure did here, because the procedure says that if a charges or magnitudes are same, then you can solve like this. If it is not, you have to be follow as it is, as procedure of this one, and what angle it is carries, solve it as it is what procedure we did. Okay, next coming to the second case in this problem, and if may ask in this problem also, see if it is plus q and see the direction will change, of course nothing worry, but the direction will change. If it is plus q and this becomes minus q, find the resultant force effective charge on this one, then the force of attraction between this is Fa and between this is Fc. Again here also it is carries same value, but the direction is changes, and here also some resultant force will be active. And you can say here if it is minus, and the direction will also goes like this. Okay, this is a different concept where it is using, and this is about completely square equilateral triangle. Anywhere you can place it, and any charges you can place, we can solve it. This is the procedure of all the electric charges and fields. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe to for your support. Thank you. Bye.